She was rejected everywhere until one day. What if I told you that the woman everyone rejected would one day become the person they all wished they had hired? What if the only thing standing between failure and success was one more attempt? This is the story of a young woman who heard "no" so many times that she almost believed it herself, until one ordinary day changed everything forever. Emma Parker stared at the glowing screen of her laptop in the dim light of her small apartment. Another email had just arrived. She already knew what it would say before opening it. Her hands trembled slightly as she clicked the message. The familiar words appeared once again. "Thank you for your application. After careful consideration, we have decided to move forward with other candidates." Emma slowly closed her eyes. It was another rejection, another closed door, another reminder that despite all her hard work, nobody seemed willing to give her a chance. Just a few years earlier, Emma had graduated from college with big dreams and endless optimism. She believed success was simple. Work hard, stay focused, earn a degree, and opportunities would naturally follow. Her professors praised her dedication. Her classmates admired her discipline. Her family proudly told everyone that Emma was destined for a bright future. She believed them. She believed that life rewarded effort. She believed that determination always paid off. She believed the world would recognize her potential. But after graduation, reality introduced her to a lesson no classroom had ever taught her. Life does not always reward you immediately. The first rejection didn't seem important. Emma shrugged it off and applied elsewhere. The second one was disappointing but manageable. The third made her question herself for the first time. By the 10th rejection, she started wondering whether something was wrong with her. Every rejection chipped away at her confidence. Every unanswered application felt personal. Every interview that ended without an offer made her feel invisible. The excitement she once felt about her future slowly transformed into uncertainty. Every morning, Emma followed the same routine. She woke up early, brewed a cup of coffee, opened her laptop, and searched for opportunities. She customized resumes, wrote cover letters, researched companies, and submitted applications. She spent entire days trying to convince strangers that she deserved a chance. Sometimes she received interview invitations. Sometimes she received nothing at all. Most of the time, weeks of waiting ended with another rejection email. As months passed, her savings account began shrinking. Bills continued arriving whether she had a job or not. Rent payments became stressful. Grocery shopping required careful budgeting. While her former classmates celebrated promotions, new cars, and dream jobs on social media, Emma struggled to keep her confidence alive. Every success story she saw online felt like another reminder that she was falling behind. The worst part wasn't the financial pressure. The worst part was the feeling that she was disappointing everyone who believed in her. Family members frequently asked how the job search was going. Friends offered encouragement. Some people suggested she lower her expectations. Others told her to be patient. But none of them truly understood what it felt like to hear no over and over again. None of them knew how exhausting it was to remain hopeful when reality kept giving her reasons to quit. One rainy evening, after receiving 2 rejections in a single day, Emma sat alone at her kitchen table. The apartment was silent except for the sound of raindrops hitting the window. She stared at the pile of unpaid bills beside her laptop. For the first time in her life, she seriously considered giving up on her dream. Tears rolled down her cheeks as frustration, fear, and disappointment overwhelmed her. She had done everything right. She had worked hard. She had followed the advice everyone gave her. Yet nothing seemed to be working. As she sat there, her phone suddenly rang. It was her grandmother. Emma considered ignoring the call, but something told her to answer. The moment she heard her grandmother's voice, she broke down completely. All the emotions she had been hiding finally surfaced. She told her grandmother about the rejections, the fear, the self-doubt, and the growing belief that maybe she simply wasn't good enough. Her grandmother listened quietly before speaking. "Emma," she said gently, "do you know why diamonds are valuable?" Emma wiped her tears and replied, "Because they're rare." Her grandmother smiled. "No, they're valuable because they survived pressure. Without pressure, they're just ordinary pieces of carbon." The words settled deep inside Emma's mind. Her grandmother continued, "You think life is punishing you, but maybe life is preparing you. Maybe these struggles are building a version of you that success will eventually require." Emma didn't suddenly feel better. Her problems didn't disappear. But for the first time in months, she looked at her situation differently. Maybe rejection wasn't proof that she was failing. Maybe it was part of the process. The next morning, Emma made a decision. Instead of focusing on rejection, she would focus on improvement. She stopped asking why companies didn't hire her and started asking what she could do better. She practiced interview questions in front of a mirror. She improved her communication skills. She enrolled in free online courses. She read books about confidence, leadership, and personal growth. Every rejection became feedback instead of defeat. Weeks turned into months. The rejections continued, but something inside Emma had changed. Each no still hurt, but it no longer destroyed her confidence. She viewed every setback as another lesson. She became stronger, wiser, and more resilient. While the world saw a woman struggling to find a job, Emma was slowly becoming someone capable of handling far greater success than she had originally imagined. One afternoon, Emma received an invitation to attend a professional networking event. At first, she almost declined. She was tired, discouraged, frustrated. The idea of introducing herself to strangers sounded exhausting. But after a few moments of hesitation, she decided to go. The event took place in a modest conference room filled with professionals from different industries. Nothing about it seemed extraordinary. People exchanged business cards, discussed career goals, and shared experiences. Emma spent hours talking with strangers, learning about their journeys, and making new connections. Toward the end of the evening, she met a woman named Sarah. The conversation lasted less than 20 minutes, but something about it felt different. Sarah asked thoughtful questions and listened carefully. Emma shared her story honestly, including the challenges she had faced during her job search. Instead of feeling sorry for her, Sarah seemed impressed. "You've been rejected that many times and you're still trying?" Sarah asked. Emma laughed softly. "I don't know if that's determination or stubbornness." Sarah smiled. "Sometimes they're the same thing." They exchanged contact information and went their separate ways. Emma didn't think much about the conversation afterward. It was just another networking event. Just another person. Just another day. A week later, Sarah sent her a message. An opening had become available at her company. She encouraged Emma to apply. Emma appreciated the opportunity, but she refused to get her hopes up. She had learned the danger of expecting too much. Still, she submitted her application and prepared for another round of interviews. The process was intense. There were multiple interviews, assessments, presentations, and discussions. Each stage felt like another mountain to climb. Emma gave everything she had. She prepared tirelessly, reviewed every detail, and approached each interview with confidence. When the final interview ended, all she could do was wait. One day passed, then 3, then 5, then 7. The silence felt unbearable. Emma convinced herself that she had failed again. Experience had trained her to expect disappointment. She prepared herself emotionally for another rejection email. Then, on the 8th day, her phone rang. An unfamiliar number appeared on the screen. Her heart raced as she answered. The recruiter greeted her warmly before saying the words she had dreamed of hearing for years. "Emma, we'd like to offer you the position." For several seconds, she couldn't speak. The recruiter repeated the sentence. "We'd like to offer you the position." Tears immediately filled Emma's eyes. Not because she had finally received a job offer, but because she suddenly realized how close she had come to quitting. Every rejection flashed through her mind. Every painful moment. Every sleepless night. Every time she doubted herself. Every moment she wanted to give up. If she had stopped after rejection number 20, she never would have reached this opportunity. If she had quit after rejection number 50, she never would have met Sarah. If she had stayed home from that networking event, her life might have remained exactly the same. Success hadn't arrived because she was lucky. Success arrived because she stayed in the game long enough to find it. Over the following years, Emma thrived in her new role. She worked harder than ever, not out of fear but out of gratitude. She embraced challenges. She continued learning. She consistently exceeded expectations. Her dedication eventually earned promotions, leadership opportunities, and respect throughout the organization. New employees often asked how she became so successful. Most assumed her journey had been smooth. They saw the confident leader she had become. They saw the accomplishments. They saw the success. They didn't see the dozens of rejections. They didn't see the tears. They didn't see the struggles. They didn't see the moments she almost quit. Years later, Emma stood on a stage delivering a speech to graduating students. Thousands of young people listened as she shared her story. She spoke about rejection. She spoke about failure. She spoke about perseverance. Then she asked a question that filled the room with silence. What if I had quit one day before everything changed? Nobody answered. They didn't need to, because everyone understood. Success often arrives later than expected, but it almost never arrives for those who stop trying. Emma ended her speech with words that would remain in the minds of those students for years. Rejection is not proof that your dream is impossible. It is proof that your story is still being written. Every successful person has chapters they wanted to skip. The difference is that they kept turning the pages. The audience erupted into applause, because deep down, everyone faces rejection. Everyone experiences disappointment. Everyone encounters moments when quitting seems easier than continuing. But the people who eventually succeed are usually not the smartest, luckiest, or most talented. They are the people who refuse to stop. And sometimes, after being rejected everywhere, all it takes is one day, one opportunity, one conversation, one decision for everything to change forever. If the story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Zenvoro Mind. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Keep going, keep believing, and never stop chasing your dreams.